house or rusted or busted, all trade-ins are welcome. You'll be shocked by how much we'll pay for your old car toward the purchase of a new Kia, and we'll buy your car for cash, even if you don't buy a car from us. Are you haunted by bad credit? Don't sweat it. Our lenders will say yes to you and yes to your situation. Don't be frightened by how much you owe on your old car. At Kia of Cleveland, we can get you out. Come see me, John Davis, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Negative trade equity financed in new loan, subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
KiaofCleveland.com.
You're listening to Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. The Drive is coming up. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. WholesaleSupply.us.
This is Alfonso Revizo, General Manager over at Crown in Cleveland, your local Jeep and Ram dealership.
The Fall Fun Festival, sponsored by Mount Olive Ministries, is back at the Tri-State Exhibition Center on Wednesday, October 29th. Join us from 6 to 8:30 p.m. for an evening full of family fun. This year, you can enjoy lots of carnival rides, jump and play in inflatables, stop by the petting zoo, ride the train, and compete in carnival games. Grab dinner and dessert from your favorite food trucks, then top it off with free candy for the kids. And admission is free. Mark your calendars and bring the whole family to the Fall Fun Festival, sponsored by Mount Olive Ministries at the Tri-State Exhibition Center, 6 to 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, October 29th.
Hey, Andy Morris here. Join me along with my co-host on The Drive, presented by Hardees, weekdays at 5 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, Cleveland and Bradley County's local sports show, weekdays at 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no style. Got a thirst for killing. Think about it.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Andy Morris along with Jim Gum. Excited to be with you, Jim, today. And big show today because Jacob's not here. We're going to have a really good time.
Oh, man, come on. Jacob, it is what it is. He couldn't make it today. But, man, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of postseason baseball going on. We got all sorts of college football news, NFL. I love this time of year. There's always something going on. And, of course, you know me. I love talking about the actual games themselves more so than the other stuff that goes along. But, I mean, the other stuff is important now. Don't get me wrong. But, man, I love talking about the actual games itself. And, postseason baseball is here, and you got to love it, man. I know the Braves aren't in it, and it's more fun when your Braves are in it.
Oh, there's no doubt. But
it's still here.
One thing that was really captivating to me was that Yankees-Red Sox game. Seeing the Red Sox win in Yankee Stadium in Game 1 and that atmosphere and just seeing the defeat on those Yankee fans' faces.
Well, they loaded the bases with no outs in the ninth.
Got scary. Aroldis Chapman on the mound for the Red Sox.
Yeah, and then they couldn't do it. They couldn't do squat, So, listen, we've all been all of our favorite teams have done that. Load the base with no outs, and you don't score a run. It's so frustrating. But to do it in the postseason and to do it against your arch rival, that is even worse. And that's what happened to the Yankees last night. Listen, you had to assume they were going to, score, at least a one run. And they came away with nothing. And now the Red Sox on the road go to Yankee Stadium, which I call Yankee Stadium 2. Or Yankee Stadium 1 is no longer.
The original Yankee Stadium.
So Yankee Stadium 2. So the Red Sox go there and win. And, of course, the American League, both the road teams won yesterday, and the National League, both the home teams won. Now, there has the Cleveland Guardians did win today, so they've tied that one up. So you got the rubber matches tomorrow there in Cleveland. But the great games yesterday. Even the Dodgers, and I know you're Mr. The Gambler.
Anti-Dodger fan over here.
Oh, man. Ohtani's unbelievable.
Why do you give him anything to hit, though?
I know.
And I don't understand that.
Hunter Green, He probably thought he could throw it by him. He torched
He
that
found
ball.
out, didn't he?
That was a line drive home run that went about probably 15 rows deep into the bleachers at Dodger Stadium, and that ball got out in a heartbeat,
did.
man. He crushed that ball.
So we do have a big show today. We've got John Weiss, Ocoee Middle School head football coach, is going to join us a little bit later on. Also, Martez Barber, Cleveland Middle School head football coach. Those two are having a little bit of a clash later on tomorrow up at Walker Valley High School at the MAC in the final game of the year. The winner, city county champion. So we figured, hey, why not have them both on the show today? We figured that'd be a good show.
That is cool. Now, I'll tell you, and I'm not going to spoil this, but I'm working on something here for ESPN that's going to have some a taste of high school and middle school that we're going to be doing here coming up shortly. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll give you the details.
A little bit of a teaser there.
Yeah, it is. This was something that Steve Hartline and we talked about this today. So I'm going to be working on some stuff the end of this week and all of next week, trying to line some things up. And I think the listeners to ESPN Cleveland will enjoy it. So just throwing it out there. That's all I'm going to say, because it's in its infancy, if you know what I mean.
Anytime we can promote our schools
Absolutely.
here locally, middle schools, high schools, we want to do it, especially on the athletic fields right here on the Drive. Love talking about everything that's going on with our local schools. And, of course, on that note, we'll get this in really quick. We've got some high school golf information right here. The Walker Valley boys and the Bradley Central girls both win their district and region and are advancing to the TSSAA state championship starting on Monday. So congratulations to a couple of our local golf teams.
I love it, man. I wish I'd have started playing golf a lot earlier in my life, because it's so much fun. And I just, I'm not that good. I'll be honest with you. I don't play enough to be that good. But when I get out there and play, I thoroughly enjoy it. It is fun.
It's relaxing.
And I know that, real golfers say they're playing against the course, but you know what your opponent's shooting. You know what you want to listen. You're competitive. I'm competitive.
Anyone with a competitive bone in their body.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a shot that I probably shouldn't do because I'm a shot behind. I need to catch up.
Take some chances.
So you take a couple chances. It usually backfires on you. So instead of one down, you're like 2 or 3 down then. But no, it is fun. I love the sport. So good for our local high school teams doing well.
So I want to backtrack a little bit. You had mentioned, you had talked about it already. For those of our listeners that might not be as familiar with the current format of the Major League Baseball postseason, they're in what's called the wild card series right now. Now you've got 3 wild card teams making it in. Makes it a little unique. 2 of them playing each other, and then obviously another one, the worst wild card team is playing the worst of the division champs. Is how that works.
That's why the Reds are playing the Dodgers.
Yeah. So looking at our results from yesterday, as Jim already had mentioned on a couple of these, Tigers beat the Guardians 2-1, and that game 2 took place a little while ago. They were tied 1-1.
And Cleveland scored 5 runs in the 8th.
Yeah, going into the 8th. Cleveland walked away with the win today, 6-1. So right now, that series tied at a game apiece, winner take all tomorrow. Hey, man, those winner take all playoff games are so much fun.
And the thing about these, in case people out there don't know, is that the home field is throughout the entire. It's a 3-game series. It's 2 out of 3. So the team with the best record is the home team for all 3 games if it goes that far. Like tomorrow, Detroit and Cleveland play, and all 3 games will be in Cleveland because they earned that right. It's just like baseball is a year of series. 3-game series is pretty normal. So this is just an extension of the regular season, basically. So you're playing a 3-game series in Cleveland, and it's tied up at 1-1. So the winner of tomorrow's game will advance.
Yeah. Also yesterday, the Cubs beat the Padres 3-1. That game is currently live right now. Padres with a 3-0 lead in that game. It is currently in the bottom of the 6th inning. Of course, they're in Chicago there at Wrigley Field. Also yesterday, the Boston Red Sox, we talked about that one, beat the Yankees 3-1. That game set for, I believe, 6:08 first pitch tonight.
Correct.
And then yesterday, the Dodgers beat Jim's Reds 10-5, hoping the Reds can respond today. That game at 9:08 first pitch.
Yeah, the Dodgers jumped out early. It was 8-0 at one point. Cincinnati made they scratched back a little bit, but the game was never really in doubt. But man, Otani, he just is unbelievable. The things this guy does, to me, we need to appreciate this because Andy, I don't know if we'll ever see a guy that can pitch and hit.
He's
like
such a unique talent. There's no denying that. And I'll tell you this too. He knows when to show him and he knows when to fold him.
I knew the little snide remark was coming out. Yeah, listen, if you guys could see, if we were on camera, Andy gives me he cuts his eyes at me, and I know what's coming. I know what's coming next. It's hilarious.
So the breaking news today, though, the big news as we're talking Major League Baseball, and of course the Atlanta Braves and Major League Baseball, sponsored by Mayfield Dairy, right here on the Drive. The big news is Braves manager Brian Snitker announced his retirement today, and this is everyone was kind of waiting to see. Hey, when's he going to announce he's coming back another year? When's he going to announce that he's retiring? We knew it was on the horizon. Mm-hmm. We knew he wasn't going to wait too long, and we knew the organization didn't want to wait too long. But it caught me a little off guard today. And I'm going to be honest, anyone that had the opportunity to watch or listen to any of the joint press conference between him and General Manager Alex Anthopoulos was there. Braves president, chairman, CEO Terry McGurk was there. Mm-hmm. The honor that they it was emotional. It was an emotional day for every single one of those guys up there. But the way they honored Brian Snitker was awesome. They brought his wife up, his wife Ronnie. One of the things they did for him, they gifted him a round trip plane tickets to Hawaii. They love to go to Hawaii. And so they've got an experience in Hawaii. They got Snit a brand new Ford truck. I believe it was an F-150.
Okay.
And
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, they announced and said he's a big Ford truck guy. So they got him a truck. And they also told him that next season he will be inducted into the Braves Hall of Fame. So they went ahead and threw that in there and announced that.
That's cool.
But I'll say this. I know that the fan base was kind of torn. That they were ready for Snit to move on, and then there was another side that says, listen, this guy's earned this. I was on this side of things where let him let us know when he's done. He's managing well enough. You can't chalk this past season up on Brian Snitker.
Oh, man, the injury bug just was this team was snake bit basically from April all the way to September.
And there's not a truer statement than snake bit because on top of the injuries, you have a guy, Jerkson Profar, who helped you so much late in the season and was such a great addition, who's had an 80-game suspension for PEDs. Mm-hmm. That hurt. That was a big insult to injury, pun intended, because we're dealing with a lot of injuries at the time. And then you have Michael Harris, who forgets how to play baseball for the first half of the season.
It was unbelievable how he turned his season around from the All-Star break on.
And he was
like
phenomenal. He was phenomenal after the All-Star break.
He played like an All-Star after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
But that first half was unbelievable.
And then you had the emergence of Drake Baldwin, who we've said on the show, we've argued, hey, that guy needs to be Rookie of the Year, hands down. I think that's a lot of the belief across Major League Baseball.
Well, there again, the position. Consider the position a catcher, and he's done pretty well offensively, but he plays the toughest position in all of Major League Baseball. Anytime you talk to me about team sports, and you say, what's the toughest position in team sports, and 100% of the times I'll say, oh, it's catcher in baseball. And I'll go there every time.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I completely – that's why I think we talked about this on the show yesterday. Cal Raleigh, hands down for me, AL MVP.
Yeah.
Give him the trophy. Aaron Judge might win the next 4.
And here's the reason I say that. You can play right field. You can go, you can actually go a game and have 2 balls hit to you the whole night. 2 balls. At catcher, every time the ball is being put in play, it's
like a quarterback.
It's coming to you. And, I mean, we're talking about to you. You're involved on every pitch. Some of them are caught by you. Some of them are hit. Some of them are foul tipped into you. So that's why I say catcher is so much more difficult to play than any other position.
Yeah, and to relate it in football terms, pitcher to catcher is like center to quarterback, in my opinion.
That's right.
Those are the two. As far as ball security and what's happening with that ball, what's about to take place, those are the 2 guys that are in charge of that.
And nobody's more vulnerable to a bad hit in football than a quarterback because he's exposed. When he throws the ball, his body is exposed to hits, and that's why they've got special rules for quarterbacks for that reason only. There's no special rules for catchers, man.
Yeah, they
really
get
aren't.
beat up. And except we'll give Buster Posey some credit. They made the Buster Posey rule so they can't get trucked anymore.
You got to get slide. You got to slide in the home plate.
That's about the only one they've made for
That's the only
him.
thing they've done. You're right. Yeah.
But going back to Brian Snitker, 49 years as a Brave. He managed from 2016 to 25. When he got the job in 2016, it was an interim position, and it was not supposed to be anything very long. He was
for Freddie Gonzalez.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a role filler until they went and got the next big manager. Yeah. And Alex Anthopoulos said today in the press conference, he said, as soon as I met him, he accepted me as GM with open arms, and it was such an asset to what my job was. There was no way I could get rid of this guy. And there are guys, Freddie Freeman specifically, who went out of their way and said, Brian Snitker needs to be the manager long term. And for 9 seasons, that's what we saw. And the fruits of his labor came in 2021 when the Braves won the World Series. He was a 6-time NL East champion. How many people, how many managers in baseball in that short amount of time can say they won 6 league
Not many.
division championships?
Not many. I mean, maybe someone with the Yankees or something, but that's about it.
Yeah, 7 postseason appearances, and this past season achieved his 800th win, finished his career with 811. About to turn 70 years old. So I understand. I get the call. I get the move. And I appreciate Brian Snitker for not being selfish, not wanting to go on a farewell tour when he knows he's checked out, when he knows he's done. He made the call not only for what was best for him and his family, but what was best for the Braves organization. I mean, we're 3 days out of the Braves not playing baseball anymore. He was really.
Are you going through withdrawals?
He was really good about his timing.
Yeah, he was.
I think that was perfect timing as far as he goes. And he's going to remain with the Braves in a senior advisory role, which that'll give him the flexibility to be able to do things that he likes and enjoys. He even talked about in his press conference today, he's going to go down to spring training and spend as much time there as he wants. And when he wants to take a break, he's going to take a break. He's going to evaluate minor league talent. And I think that's something we saw Bobby Cox do at the end of his career before he had his stroke. And Bobby loved that job, and it was mentioned today by Alex Anthopoulos that he thinks Snit's going to love that position and love the influence that he's going to have on the next manager, which we're going to talk about here in a second.
Do you think Anthopoulos will talk to Brian Snitker maybe when they're considering a trade? You know, say, hey, you managed to get these guys. How do you think that guy right there would fit in with the Braves? How good a baseball player do you believe he is? Do you think Anthopoulos would get his input?
I absolutely do, because of his feel and knowledge for the clubhouse.
Right.
And he knows the personalities of the guys in the other clubhouses, in the other dugout. And this is something that we know for a fact. Chipper Jones has spoke on it. They come to Chipper and they say, hey, what do you think about this addition? What do you think about this guy? He gets consulted in those situations as well. Bobby Cox did. Mm-hmm. So I fully think because of how good the relationship is between Alex Anthopoulos and Brian Snitker, I think he's going to be a big part of those conversations, especially the bond that they share winning that 2021 World Series. Alex Anthopoulos teared up today, had trouble answering a question because of that relationship, that experience. And he even said, without Brian Snitker, I don't have this ring. And that's when he teared up. So there's some emotional moments today as this was announced. And I do think that, Snit didn't know for sure until yesterday. He was asked a question, when did you know you're done? And he said, yesterday.
Really?
Talked to my wife.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, so he had signed his 3-year deal and kind of presumed when it was over, that was going to be it. But then as it got closer, he was really this season unsure about if he had any left in the tank. And he sat at home and he talked to his wife, Ronnie, and said, you know what? I think I'm always going to have some left in the tank. I think I need to retire. And he called Alex Anthopoulos literally last night. They had a conversation and they had the announcement today.
Interesting.
So just a lot happening with that in the timeline. And I think this is a great opportunity. I'm a big believer, and this was mentioned many times today throughout all the coverage. I'm a firm believer in the Braves way.
Yeah, they are like the Yankees and Dodgers. There's certain, not everyone fits in with the Yankees and Dodgers. I think the same holds true with the Braves. There are certain guys out there that, talent-wise, yes, but their personality would clash. in Atlanta or New York or Los Angeles.
And with that being said, there's been a lot of names already thrown around for who the next manager is going to be. So I put together a little list here. In-house. Now, what I mean by in-house, obviously Walt Weiss, who's currently your bench coach, is an in-house guy. But I also have some other names on here, like David Ross, who's currently not part of the organization, but he's a Braves guy. He spent some time there as a player toward the end of his career, loved his time in Atlanta, was embraced by the fan base in Atlanta. Him and Brian McCann were kind of a platoon duo at catcher. And I tell you what, David Ross had some success. Kind of think he got done a little wrong in Chicago with the Cubs. Had a lot of success there, though. And as a player and as a manager, had some good teams. I think David Ross is a guy whose name's obviously being thrown around. Wouldn't be a bad fit. Eddie Perez, current bullpen coach. We know his history with the Braves was Greg Maddox's personal catcher. His name's been thrown around. But as far as guys that I'm calling in-house, there's one name that stands out to me the most. And this is an opportunity for me, I feel like, where you can keep the Braves way, the way things have been done and the understanding of the history of the organization, but at the same time bring in a guy that has a little fire and a little youth and a little excitement, Mark DeRosa. Mark DeRosa is managing Team USA next year for the World Baseball Classic.
Okay.
He's very well connected within Major League Baseball. Anyone that follows MLB Network, he hosts the MLB Central show that comes on in the mornings. Mark DeRosa, I think, would be the absolute ideal hire. And on the Brave short list of who they want, I would imagine his name's at the very top.
I like David Ross, too. I like him a lot. I like former catchers being managers because I think they appreciate a lot of the different positions and they really know pitching. They do. And so I like a David Ross. But DeRosa, that's an interesting name. I hadn't thought about him before. I think that would be a good fit. But if above all the guys you've mentioned thus far, I think Walt Weiss would be good, too. Don't get me wrong. But David Ross would be my choice. And
oddly enough, there's been a lot of pushback within the Braves fan base on social media about Walt Weiss. A lot of people don't want Walt Weiss. They don't want him. Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem with that hire. I think they want a bigger hire, though. I think they want someone maybe that like a Ross or a DeRosa that's going to make a splash. But I promise you, Jim's not over here reading my notes. You mentioned the catching position translating well to manager. Another name that's been thrown out because apparently he's retiring now that his season's over, Travis d'Arnaud. That's a name that has been all over social media. And some stories that I've read today, Travis d'Arnaud, former catcher. Yeah. For the Braves, loved by the fan base.
Where did he play this year?
So he was with Ron Washington out in Anaheim.
Out in Anaheim, okay.
With the Angels. So that's another name, Ron Washington. He had triple bypass surgery this year.
That's the one thing that would make me pause on that. And I know that's pretty poor of me to say because I know that these bypasses, usually these guys are pretty darn good after that.
But he's older.
But he is older.
You're not getting any younger.
I like a guy like a David. David Ross is the guy that stands out to me. He would be my choice, but I mean, I may be in the minority, but he's, of all the guys you've mentioned, and that includes d'Arnaud. The reason d'Arnaud, gosh, I can still consider him an active player.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess that was probably the reason I'd like to see him get a little bit of seasoning somewhere in at least coaching first. But no, David Ross would be the guy for me.
So you're a David Ross guy.
I'm David Ross.
I'm a Mark DeRosa guy, and the buzz around Mark DeRosa is really hot right now.
I like him too.
There's a lot going on between those two guys we just named. And the silver lining with Ron Washington and the situation he's in, Ron Washington's older than Brian Snitker. So you're not getting any younger hiring him as your manager. But the good thing with Ron Washington, it was announced yesterday that they're not renewing his contract out in L.A. with the Angels. It's very possible that he could serve as your third base coach under any of those guys above that we talked about.
That's true.
As a manager. Also, another silver lining here, Brian McCann's name's been thrown around, not as manager, but to come on as your bench coach if you hire Mark DeRosa or David Ross.
I think that would be a good fit too.
And of course, Brian McCann is serving as the catching coach, bench coach, Team USA, World Baseball Classic. So
they'll They'll
some
know
practice.
They'll know each other pretty well, won't they?
Yeah, getting some practice there.
By the way, I love the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. But outside candidates, we'll go a little bit quicker on this. Skip Schumacher is a name that's been thrown around. He's former manager of the Miami Marlins. Bud Black, who got fired from Colorado this year, very well thought of across Major League Baseball. Didn't hardly have anything to work with in Colorado.
He had no talent there. You can't look at his record and say that's who he is. It's not.
And then there's another gentleman by the name of Gabe Kapler, who managed the Phillies from 2018 to 2019 and the Giants from 2020 to 2023. If Gabe Kapler gets this job, I might hand over my Braves stuff and become a Reds fan, Jim. I'm just going to say that. But his name has been thrown out there and been rumored. I'm not a Gabe Kapler guy.
No Vitello to the Braves?
Tony Vitello. Only rumors of the Giants with him so far.
And I don't think that's going to happen. But, it is funny to see that name thrown out there.
So, obviously, a lot happening there with Snit announcing his retirement. And the possibilities for next season, the rumor mill gets started, the names get thrown out there. But I tell you what, I would really love for that job to go to Mark DeRosa.
You know what? I love baseball because it's one of those sports where the games themselves, but the hot stove league, it's fun to try to say, hey, I think the Braves ought to trade this guy for that guy, or these two guys for that guy, and do that little stuff. That's kind of fun. And you see, there's always good stuff out there. There's rumors out there, and let's be honest, most of the rumors never come to fruition. But every now and then, there'll be a blockbuster trade, and you're like, whoa, this is huge. And then, of course, free agency. I'm curious what kind of if the Braves will be active on the free agent market this year.
And listen, as you're saying that, I'm thinking about the World Baseball Classic. If Mark DeRosa gets this job, takes this job, he probably doesn't manage Team USA because you're in the thick of spring training.
Interesting, yeah.
Trying to get his feet wet as a new manager.
Because it overlaps.
Yeah, it does. So so many moving parts to that whole situation. But you mentioned the offseason. More than likely, Ozuna is gone, going to be a free agent. And we got the best years out of Marcell Ozuna. Post-Marlins, post-Cardinals, we got the best Marcell Ozuna that was left. I think it's a good time to part from that relationship. Don't see any scenario that he comes back. And Ha-Sung Kim's really the big one at shortstop. Mm-hmm. There's a 5-day window after the World Series that you're able to sign and re-sign players. If nothing happens during that time with him, he's going to go somewhere else. Someone's going to throw some money at him for his defense alone, let alone to the offensive production that he has to offer. We saw what he did in San Diego. He was solid. So there's some big moves outside of those things. I think the Braves probably re-sign Raciel Iglesias and go get bullpen help to be around him.
I think that's a given for sure, no doubt.
And rotation-wise, all your money's probably going to go into one more big arm to go side-by-side Chris Sale and Spencer Strider.
Well, you just hope these guys are healthy for a full season next year. Had they been healthy in 2025, the Braves are in the hunt. Not saying they would make the postseason, but they would have been in it towards the latter part of the year. Let's be honest, the Braves pretty much from early August on, we knew they weren't going anywhere.
Yeah,
they would have had to have played win 75% of their games. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, they got way too far behind the 8 ball early.
That's right. I mean, even with that 10-game winning streak, they were barely able to make any, jump up any.
And I think that's very telling of Brian Snitker as a manager. The way they did finish their season when they had the pieces back. When you get a young guy like Hurston Waldrop, who was pitching really good.
I really like that.
He's going to be in the rotation next year. But hey, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Got a lot to talk about when we come back. We're going to talk a little college football, and then we're going to be joined by some middle school coaches from Ocoee and Cleveland to talk about that big game tomorrow up at the MAC at Walker Valley High School.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit, split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
When competition is fierce, sports injuries happen, and Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Saturday sports clinics are available at our Chattanooga and Cleveland offices from August 23rd through November 8th for the treatment of non-emergency orthopedic injuries like sprains, strains, and fractures. Doors open at 9 a.m., no appointment needed to be seen by our highly trained physicians and clinical staff. Saturday sports clinic dates are subject to change. Check sportmed.com for the latest information. That's sportmed.com.
For the past quarter century, Mix 1041 has been your home for UT Vols football. That's something to celebrate. Vol 25 is here. ESPN Cleveland 1013 and USS are giving you a chance to win tickets to all of the Tennessee road games this season. Each Monday before a road game, you can register to win tickets to that Saturday's Vols game. Vol 25 is brought to you by USS. Visit USSTN.com/Chattanooga. For more information, check out our ESPN Cleveland 1013 socials on Facebook and Instagram. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Need a new shop, garage, or other unique space? Explore post-frame building kits from Best Buy Metals. Best Buy Metals kits utilize steel trusses for the ultimate in strength and durability. When you need it to last, call Best Buy Metals. Stop by or visit bestbuymetalroof.com for your custom structure.
Mix 1041 and Honda of Cleveland are teaming up to give one deserving teacher in our local area the chance to win a 2025 Honda Civic LX. Nominate your favorite teacher at mymix1041.com or on the Mix 1041 app.
Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Visit milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians $22 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one: medical, dental, vision, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com. And we're going to do Inside the SEC segment, sponsored by Southern Heritage Bank. So did a little research here. The college football playoff announced the championship game will be played in New Orleans following the 2027 season. So this year it'll be played in Miami, 2026 in Las Vegas, and 2027 in New Orleans. So if you look that over the 14 years that the college football championship game will have been played, the South will have held 9 of those 14. 4 will have been on the West, not so much the West Coast because I'm including Phoenix, and the one in the Midwest, that was the one that Jacob went to. So the South has had will have had 9 out of the 14 championship games within the region. Here's a good little stat here. The SEC is 8-0 versus Sun Belt Conference since that league was formed. Historically, the SEC is 198-14 versus Sun Belt.
Pretty solid record there.
Yeah, 94%.
Someone should have told Billy Napier that before he took a job in the SEC.
Exactly. Okay, here's a good one, too. No conference besides the SEC has ever had 10 or more schools ranked in the AP Top 25. The SEC has now accomplished it 4 consecutive weeks. That's pretty strong. And finally, and I love looking at stuff like this, for the season, the SEC officiating crews have had 94 stoppages. 53 of those 94 have been overturned. That's 56%. That means the times that they've stopped it, they've been wrong more often than they've been right. That, to me, is a problem.
That doesn't shock me, though.
By the way, Jacob Mason.
I don't know what the other leagues are like. I don't know what the Big 10, Big 12, or ACC are like. But to me, it should be less than 50%. But it's over 56% of the times they've been stopped. They've had to overturn it because they blew the call.
Yeah, Jacob Mason snuck his way in here over the commercial break. He's back with us.
Well, listen.
Just ruined our day.
Because I don't pay for Valley Sports, they wouldn't allow me to sit in on the SNIT conversation. And so, rightfully so, I get it. I understand. But now I'm here. I'm back. Had to go to the eye doctor. So hopefully getting some answers about my eyes because I'm as blind as the SEC refs, it seems.
Helen Keller. No.
So listen, as we're talking
we're
SEC,
praying for you. Okay, seriously, we're praying that you get your eyes corrected because I know it's got to be frustrating for you.
It is, but hey, the fact that I call games on Friday night at an accurate level, it's due to binoculars, but we're able to do it.
Good thing is we don't have to worry about that this Friday night because Jim Gum is going to be on the call with me.
Yeah, have you
on
seen how
Oldies
thick have you
99.1.
seen how thick my glasses are? Hello.
Hey, so as we're talking SEC, appreciate Jim doing our Inside the SEC. Of course, that's sponsored by Southern Heritage Bank. I want to look around the schedule for this weekend in the SEC. Texas at Florida. Is that the game that gets Billy fired? Is that possible? What do you guys think?
It could be the game that keeps Billy's job.
If he wins, yeah, you're right. Swamp's a tough place to go play.
If Texas loses that and they were the preseason #1 team and he loses to a coach that literally is on his way out, what does that do to Sarkisian?
Yeah,
I mean his
Texas currently ranked number 9.
His seed will start getting a little warm there in Austin.
Here's the thing: they both have pretty good defenses. Their offenses on third down, like rank in the 90s and the 100s. Like their offenses are not very good. Texas, though, to me, like has a chance to like light fire. It's one of those things that if they can get some things figured out, they have the athletes.
There's no doubt.
Offense. They've got the coordinators. They got like Billy. At the end of the day, is the problem down there in Gainesville, and I don't know why Scott Strickland acts like it's not. Maybe. I really thought the basketball national championship kind of saved his job regardless of whether, because before, like last year, my thing was, well, if they have to fire him, Scott's going with him. Like Strickland is out the door with them because he's been on this coaching carousel with football.
And that might be why he's hanging on to him, honestly.
Like, I think it is. That was my theory last year, and now it's my theory this year. But I really thought that the basketball thing kind of helped save his job, going out and hiring a guy after Mike White that goes and takes you to a national championship. That's a big deal. But I don't know, man. It could be a job saver, or it could be something. If they go in there and take a whooping like Notre Dame gave Arkansas, you might see them pull the trigger too.
Mm-hmm. So a couple more big games in the SEC this weekend. Number 16, Vanderbilt on the road in Tuscaloosa at Alabama.
Diego Pavia, man, he's out there. He's saying, if we play up to our ability, we'll win this game. I mean, he's so confident. But you want your quarterback to be confident. Okay, you do. You want him to be confident.
He believes it, though.
Yeah, and listen, he did it last year.
Clark Lee believes it.
He did it last
He has his team believing it. So I don't know if Vandy realistically can win this game on the road, but I think there's going to be a lot of energy from Vanderbilt, and they're going to go down there and be very competitive. It's not going to be one of these Vandy shows up and just gets absolutely routed from the get-go. I just don't see it because they're playing such good football.
I can't wait for that game, y'all.
And then also Mississippi State, who's being slept on by everybody. Ask Tennessee fans that watch that game. That's a solid team. Mississippi State at number 6, Texas A&M.
I could see Mississippi State upsetting them. I really could.
Yeah, I don't know. You said at Texas?
Yeah, it's at A&M. A&M's favored, there's no doubt, but Mississippi State can play.
I think they can. To me, though, like playing at home versus playing on you say that. I mean, Lane Kiffin made a joke. That might as well have been Knoxville the other day. They had so many Tennessee fans in attendance that the side was basically full orange. So, I don't know. You may be right. I don't know how to. That's one of those that if I don't know about it, I'm going to go with what my gut says. And playing at Kyle Field is really tough to do.
Yeah, and of course, Tennessee Volunteers on bye week this week. The Georgia Bulldogs taking on Kentucky down there between the hedges. Jacob, how you feel about that game real quick before we get to this phone call?
If Coach Smart is, giving coach speak and talking about what a great program Kentucky has, even though his seat's kind of warm, he's going in there to do some damage. I think you might see some frustration taken out. I think it's one of those right the ship weeks. You had a bad week. You made some mistakes that they ultimately cost you the game. I think that's one of those that you get your boys to go play hard for.
I got the Mr. G. I pity the fool. That's that's how I feel about Kentucky going to Georgia.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there.
Yeah, Coach Stoops might be taking a tough one down there between the hedges this Saturday. Hey, with that, going to talk some more football here. We're joined by Ocoee Middle School head football coach John Weiss. Coach, can you hear me?
I'm here, guys. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Glad you could join the show today. Obviously, big game tomorrow up at the MAC at Walker Valley High School between the undefeated Colts and a pretty tough Cleveland Middle School team.
Man, it's the game, all right? Another rivalry game. You know, we had Lake Forest, and, I mean, you got the traditional county rivals and everything else, but this one is going to be the city-county championship. As both Ocoee and Cleveland have beat Lake Forest this year, and they are a strong team sitting at 4-2. And as you allude to, you know, we have a really good record ourselves right now.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Your record's 0-0 right now, right?
0-0, that is correct. We got it in you, Andy. I appreciate it. 0-0.
Yeah, Coach.
With our goal being 1-0.
Just kind of give the listeners the times that the games are going to be. Again, I'm with you. You know, that Lake Forest game up there at the MAC really felt like a high school game with the atmosphere, the amount of people. Just kind of talk about what time the gates open and what fans are sitting to expect.
Yeah, listen, game's going to start. JV starts at 5. Varsity starts at 7. We got Ocoee's band's going to be there. You got the dance team, the cheerleading team. You got Cleveland's dance team, Cleveland's cheerleading team. You know, those bring a lot of fans as well. It's going to be a great game, great atmosphere. It's going to be a high school atmosphere tomorrow night up at the MAC, and we're super excited. Gates are going to open about 4:30, 4:15, 4:30, and whatever time they decide to open them. I'm not in charge of that. That's going to be a Jake Wilcutt question, but I know I'm going to have our boys up there on the field, ready for the whistle blow at 5 o'clock, and then, of course, again at 7 o'clock for the varsity. It's going to be electric. As many of you know my past, I spent the last 8 years at Cleveland, and it was a fun time, but now I'm donning a different blue, and the navy blue and gold have welcomed me with open arms, and I couldn't be more humbled and grateful and thankful for the opportunity given to me and what we've been able to accomplish this year.
Yeah, so for everyone that's not been following Ocoee football, if you weren't aware, they're living their Weiss era right now. That's where they're at. I love doing that to you, Coach Weiss, just because I know it kind of makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does a little bit, but you know what? I'm going to let you keep doing it. But hey, listen, once again, I'm super humbled by it, and I love that. I love that the community is just rallying around every crazy idea I've had thus far, and they're loving it, and we're enjoying it, and we're having a fantastic season. And a lot of them, I told them today, I said, hey, this is your last practice. And you heard a lot of, I want to keep going. So, you know, we've made a positive impact on these kids, and you know, hopefully not only are we winning some ball games on the middle school field, but we're also preparing them for high school and all the fun that Friday nights are.
Yeah, good stuff, Coach. Hey, real quick before we go to break, if you could one more time let our listeners know what time things are getting fired up tomorrow up there at Walker Valley.
All right, so tomorrow's game plan is such. All right, about 10:30, I'm going to go Facebook Live with our weekly interviews of our players. So if you don't know, we go live every Thursday on Facebook, and we're going to do some player interviews. They've been enjoying that as well. But then we're going to have a pep rally about 3 o'clock, and then we're going to JV starts at 5 up at the MAC, and then varsity starts at 7. And you're going to want to get there a little early because it's going to be packed at the MAC. And we're just going to have fun doing it, and it's going to be a great. I know Coach Barber is going to have those Blue Raiders ready. I know I looked at the boys today and I said, listen, man, everything we've done, it's for this week. So, you know, we've had some really great time in the weight room. We've had some great times on the field, and it all comes to a head tomorrow. So it's super fun and super exciting. And I cannot wait for that atmosphere tomorrow.
Well, Coach, hope we hear a lot of air sirens, a lot of crazy train, a lot of swag surfing. I hope it's playing all night long.
I hope you break your finger doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Once again, Ocoee Middle School head football coach John Wise. Coach, appreciate you joining us.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys and being friends of the program and friends of the area sports and everything else. It's because of you guys that we get to continue to promote our stuff, and we wouldn't be as successful as we are if it weren't for the support of you guys and ESPN Cleveland and just the entire community. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Bye.
All right, see ya. Well, once again, Ocoee Middle School head football coach John Wise, and we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Cleveland Middle School head football coach Martez Barber. And listen, breaking news here: he might be on his way up here to break Jacob's other finger.
I love it.
So, hilarious. With that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Martez Barber, Cleveland Middle School head football coach.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
This is John Davis, the trading man at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway. Is your old car really scary? Are you frightened about how much you owe? Don't be afraid. We'll take any trade. Let your scary old car rust in peace. At Kia Cleveland, we can help you escape from your old car even if you have months left or still owe thousands. Like new, low miles, or rusted or busted, all trade-ins are welcome. You'll be shocked by how much we'll pay for your old car toward the purchase of a new Kia, and we'll buy your car for cash even if you don't buy a car from us. Are you haunted by bad credit? Don't sweat it. Our lenders will say yes to you and yes to your situation. Don't be frightened by how much you owe on your old car. At Kia of Cleveland, we can get you out. Come see me, John Davis, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Negative trade equity financed in new loan, subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
Hardees is hiring. Join the Star Team. Flexible scheduling, daily pay, free meals, 20% family discount, plus paid vacation for part-time and full-time employees. Apply in-store or online at hardees.com today.
This is Alfonso Revizo, General Manager over at Crown in Cleveland, your local Jeep and Ram dealership.
The Smart Factory Institute, operated by Peak Performance, provides manufacturers across the United States with connections, collaborative relationships, and certifications for improving manufacturing processes through access to the latest technology in advanced manufacturing. The Smart Factory ensures that manufacturers can safely deliver high-quality products while providing a modern work environment and shares best practices so that manufacturing in America continues to be strong and resilient. To find out more, visit the Smart Factory at the Pie Center or online at smartfactoryinstitute.com.
Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad veins.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
When it comes to Mayfield Dairy ice cream, you'll never have a boring bite. Their limited edition ice creams include cherry chocolate chip and banana pudding. They're inspired by traditional Southern recipes and seasonal favorites. Pick some up today from your local grocery store. Learn more at mayfielddairy.com. With that, talking a little middle school football here locally. Of course, there's a big game tomorrow up at Walker Valley High School at the MAC between the Ocoee Colts and the Cleveland Middle School Blue Raiders. And with that on the phone, I believe we've got Cleveland Middle head football coach Martez Barber with us.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Doing great, Martez. Man, glad to have you on the show with us. And obviously, big game tomorrow. If you could just kind of talk about your team's journey to get to this point in the season where you're playing for a city-county championship.
Yeah, football is a game of attrition, and we have sure had it with our team this season. We started 0-2 playing Baylor and Dalton, and in the state of Georgia, middle school has an actual state championship. And Dalton, the past 2 years, they won it 2 years ago, and they were runner-ups last year. So, it's always going to be a tough game. And then Baylor, enough said. They're nationally ranked high school-wise. Great programs to compete against. So start 0-2, but then we've now recently won 4 in a row. We had a big win over a very good Lake Forest team. And we've had 2 wins over McMinn County, and then we beat Boyd Buchanan, a game we played at Cleveland High School in triple overtime. I've never been a part of a triple overtime game. Great atmosphere. It was a great win over a very good Boyd team that played Baylor tough. And so now we get, obviously, a very good, formidable opponent in Ocoee for a county championship tomorrow night.
Yeah, Martez, I don't know if you're aware, I'm a big Notre Dame fan. And looking at your guys' schedule is very front-loaded, similar to my Fighting Irish this year where we started off 0-2. And since then have been on this run where last week got a head coach fired. Do you think John Weiss's job is in jeopardy at all?
No way. That dude came in, and he has completely turned that program around for sure. And I've known John a long time, and it's not surprising what he's done. I'm a little surprised he's done it this quickly, but one of the things he does well is he's an energetic guy like me, and he gets people to buy in, and that's what he's done over at Ocoee, and that's what excites us. Is I know that he's going to have his guys prepared, so we've worked on about as much as we can work on this week to get prepared for what we're going to see tomorrow night.
Well, Coach, that is, a way a lot of people describe you as very energetic. I hear a lot of compliments about your program all the time. We want to give you a chance to kind of spotlight some guys that have been leaders on your team. One I know of, Z, he's as big as Dad. I mean, he's in 8th grade. He's in 8th grade, and he's towering and just looking Randy in the eyes.
He's a legit 6'3", pushing 6'4". Hybrid tight end, can play some slot for us, starts an inside linebacker. He played defensive end last year, but we had a void that needed to be filled, and he's done that well. He's become a lot more physical in the box. Jay Bennett, another Swiss Army knife for us. He's actually played quarterback the past couple weeks because of injury to our 7th grade quarterback, Connor Green, and Connor Green, being a 7th grader, he's done really well this year. He went down against Boyd. We're hoping to have him tomorrow night available. Our offensive line has gotten better throughout the year after some early season struggles, made some minor adjustments there. Defensively, Cade Shuff, he starts at corner for us. Kingston Scott, 2-way player, running back. Elijah Zachary is a 330-pound squat guy. He played some outside linebacker for us. We put him now at defensive end, and he's a power back that we can use in certain situations. So those young men have really, the past few weeks, taken the challenge that we put forth as a staff to really lead our program and make some wholesale changes, and they've done that.
Coach, obviously you guys are on the road up at Walker Valley tomorrow for the city-county championship game against Ocoee. Is there anything that you've addressed or said to your team about the environment up there, the noise, or maybe this guy beside me who's going to be pushing music buttons over here?
Yeah, well, we play music during practice, so, I don't think that would be an issue. But I think the biggest thing that you try to tell your kids is that football is an emotional game enough. And there's a lot of things that add, to the atmosphere and to the things you do as a player, but you don't want it to become a distraction. And part of maturity is to be able, as hard as it can be at times, to be able to become tunnel vision oriented and focus on the things you control and focus on the things on that 120 by 53 and a third yard wide field. I mean, that's inevitably what matters. The other things optically are great, but they don't win you football games. It's the young men that are on that field for the 32 minutes of game time that we'll have that make a difference.
Well, Coach, you've got two of my favorite kids on your team as well, the Rumble Boys. I heard Lincoln got himself an interception the other night, and he's $100 richer because of it.
Yeah. He's going to have to give that back to the program.
Good answer.
Get him reconditioned. Maybe he'll become a premier sponsor next year.
Hey, last thing I got for you, Coach, once again joined by Cleveland Middle head football coach Martez Barber. Looking at Cleveland High School's football team this year, some guys that were on your team last year and the year before that, this freshman, sophomore group of guys that you had some success with in middle school, already getting a lot of playing time and some valuable Friday night experience. How does that make you feel as a middle school head coach?
Yeah, Coach Brown and I have a really good relationship. We almost talk daily. We definitely talk multiple times a week. You tell these guys that the opportunities are there, but they don't really believe it until they're put in those situations. And you guys know this, obviously. Football is the ultimate next man up sport for so many different reasons. And 6A is not kind to you. 6A is brutal, it's physical, it's demanding, and these young men are getting the best on-the-job training that you can get right now. So, I'm excited. It makes me feel good. My staff is incredible. I can't do it without those men every day. And, they really prepared our kids for as best we can for the next level. So I'm definitely proud of them and excited to see the trajectory under the Chris Brown regime for our football program.
Well, Coach, as a former Blue Raider myself, Donnie Yates product, you're doing a great job carrying the torch over there. We hear lots of great things about your program, and we're super excited to cover you guys, even after this. It's always an honor to get to spotlight our athletes here in town.
Yeah, thank you guys for what you do. And again, we're excited about the opportunity to play against a class program like Ocoee, and best of luck to Coach Weiss and what he's done with his staff. And thank you guys for giving these young men all the coverage they deserve, because at the end of the day, it's about them, and I'm honored to be able to be on with you men and just highlight our program and the good things that we're doing.
Once again, Cleveland Middle head football coach Martez Barber. Coach, we appreciate you joining the show today, and glad to cover you guys and look forward to doing more so in the future.
You guys got it anytime. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Have a great day, Coach.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, so once again, right before the commercial break, heard from Ocoee head football coach John Weiss. Just heard from Cleveland Middle School head football coach Martez Barber. Big game tomorrow, varsity 7 o'clock kickoff up at the MAC at Walker Valley High School. Do you know what I want to highlight from what I took from that, talking to Coach Barber?
The betting line.
That's a good answer, Jim. That's a good answer.
I don't know.
This is a matchup of two teams led by two really good men.
Yeah,
that's what I took from that.
Yep.
Two really good interviews and two guys who respect each other as head coaches. And do you know what that does? That trickles down to those football players.
It does.
And I think that's great. I think that's a big deal. And listen, Martez could have came on here and said, "Yeah, Mason, you're a former Blue Raider, ready to break your finger pushing a music button for the Colts." But all joking aside, great interview with Coach Barber right there. And get out, support these middle school teams tomorrow as they take the field. Both of them trying to win a city-county championship.
I mean, that's big, man. It is.
Well, it's going to be such a good game. They played a lot this summer. They beat each other this summer in 7-on-7. It's going to be fun. When the pads get strapped on, it's a little bit different. But I'm super excited about it. We've watched how successful Cleveland Middle School's program is for years. Each year they roll out a good team, and it's because of the atmosphere and the things that go on over there. And Coach Barber does a great job, and Coach Weiss is over at the middle school now, and he's kind of leading the charge with that as well. And I'm excited to get to be the one up there, on the PA calling these guys out.
Yeah, I bet Jacob's wishing he didn't come in today. I love any chance I get just to throw Jacob under the bus just a little bit.
All the time. At this point, I'm used to it. I'm ready for it. Like I'm here for it. So
it's good radio.
It's fun.
Hey, I love tidbits. Y'all know how I like little tidbits like this. I just saw this right here. There's 3 teams in college football that have not trailed not 1 second this year. Miami, Texas Tech, and this other one, Maryland. Who would have ever thought that?
Maryland's undefeated right now.
Yeah, Maryland. Well, obviously, to have not trailed, you have to be undefeated.
Yeah.
And there's one football team in the country that has yet to have a lead in a game.
Is this a P5?
No, it's Power 4.
Yes, sir. P4, UCLA.
UCLA.
Yep.
They have not led 1 second this year.
Hey, how's
Those
that?
other 3 teams, Miami, Texas Tech, and Maryland, have not trailed not 1 second.
Hey,
I love stuff like
how's that Nico experience working out for you?
By the way, Sinceri, the OC there, was let go.
Yeah, that'll fix it.
He was just let go today. So yeah, I mean things are unraveling big time there at UCLA. But
Nico and his entourage and everything having to do with him as a football player is just absolutely horrible. Like he needs to go ahead and sit out the rest of this season so he doesn't get hurt before he transfers to go be the starting quarterback at Fresno State next year. What a joke. Listen, I'm not a Nico fan.
It has not gone well for him. That is an understatement right there. That is for sure.
So coming up next, we've got Finish Line Radio, the best radio show in NASCAR right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Show goes fast when you got a couple of interviews there at the end, and we talk for 25 minutes about Brian Snitker retiring, right, Jim?
That's true. But that was fun, though. I enjoyed today's show.
Yeah, a lot happening. So with that, we're going to send it over to those fellas with Finish Line Radio. We appreciate you guys tuning in to The Drive today. We'll be back with you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great evening, everybody.